All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support. I want to say thanks for joining us here today on the live stream. Let me fix my computer really quick. So just to let you guys know, my computer crashed on me the other day, and my backup did not back up everything, so I'm kind of running behind, but we're going to get through it. So hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about events. Some of you guys are already in chat. So Kareen from Tennessee, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Isaac Ellis from Virginia, hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, guys. Again, like I said, I apologize. I feel a little out of sorts today because my computer crashed the other day, and I'm trying to get everything straightened out, but we're going to keep moving on. So what we're going to do is talk about events. Hopefully, if you guys are not familiar with Zenfolio events, this live stream will help you get familiar with events and how they work. So with Zenfolio events, what they're going to let you do is if you photograph a school, if you photograph a sports team, and you've got a lot of images to get out to specific people, this Zenfolio events feature is going to let you do that. And there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can batch email everybody, or you can let people come in and do a search by a keyword. So let me go ahead and get started on that and show you guys how this works. So what we're going to do is here from my dashboard, we're going to jump into photos. We're going to go to where all of the photos are stored, and we're going to scroll down here at the very bottom, and I've already got a group uploaded right here, but I want to take you guys through this process from scratch. So what I'm going to do is show you how I would recommend setting it up, get you to that point, and then we're going to work from this group that I've already got set up so you guys don't have to wait for things to upload from my computer. All right, so what I'm going to do first, guys, if you haven't created this yet, you want to make sure that you create a container to protect your images that you upload for your events. So go up to all photographs, create a new group right here, and I'm just going to call this my events group. So I'm just going to call this events, and leave it titled that. Now the reason that we're doing this is because there are some certain settings that you're going to want to apply to make sure that your images are protected while still allowing your images to be searched through the event feature or to be emailed through the event feature. So after you have this event container created, what you want to do is you want to go up here to group access right here. So click on the group. Let me just get myself out of the way here so you guys can see this a little bit better. All right, so what you want to do is click on this group right here, and then over here on group access, what we're going to do is we want this to not include any search results. So you guys probably having a hard time seeing that because my computer is zoomed in so much. Let me zoom out there a little bit. All right, sorry about that. All right, so what you're going to want to do is make sure that this is unchecked. You're going to want to come down to search and metadata for this group, and I'm going to set it to do not include photos and videos in any search results. Now the reason that I'm doing that is because I do not want these showing up in Google. I don't want these images to be indexed by Google. I just want them to be found through the events feature. Now the next thing I'm going to do for this group as well is I'm going to go ahead and uncheck these options right here just because I'm not a big fan of these options. So once I've got that set up, again, we are leaving this set to public. We want people to easily be able to access it through the event feature. We just don't want it indexed by search engines. So I'm going to click save. Now guys, as I'm going through this, if you have any questions at all, if you want me to stop and go back and show you something, or if you've got questions completely unrelated to the Zenfolio events feature, make sure to get those in the chat. I've got Cheryl, the moderator, hanging out with me today. And let me just jump back and say hi to some more of you guys, because I know there's a lot of you guys out there. And I want to say thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. So let me go back up here really quick. Peter Herzog from Billings, Montana. Hey Peter, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We got JJ Photographic, Aaron Grub Photo from Walla Walla, Eastern Tennessee, Thomas Haynes, Catherine Gaston from sunny Colorado. And then let's see. Oh, she says it's 80 and sunny, but storms are coming tomorrow. So I'm actually in North Carolina. I'm looking out the window right now, and it's looking pretty stormy outside. Hopefully we can make it through it. But thanks again, you guys, for coming and hanging out with us. So let's jump back and keep working on this events feature here really quick. All right, so you guys see I created this container group right here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can read this. This is my events container group right here, and we set up the access control settings so that the images that we put in it cannot be found. So if I was getting ready to actually upload images for an event, I would click on that group, I would go to upload, and then as long as you have the Google Chrome browser, you can just drag folders in here to upload. Now I've already got my event uploaded into Zenfolio, so I'm just going to move this into my events group container here. So what I'm going to do is click right here. We're going to move this right into my events group. And so now that's in there. None of the photos can be indexed, and we're ready to move on to our next step. So let's take a look in here. And you guys can see there's 2 galleries in here. So with Zenfolio events, one of the things that has to be done, depending on, and it's going to be the same no matter what type of event you're using. If you're using an open event or a restricted event, the first thing that you need to make sure is that you have your images keyworded. Now, an open event lets people basically come and search by a keyword. So if you shot or if you photographed a sports team, for instance, you could keyword the images by the jersey number, by the bib number, whatever you want to do. Upload that into an open event, and then your players could just come and type in their jersey number, and all of the photos that have their jersey number keyworded into them would pop up. With a restricted event, it's a little bit different. Restricted events are more for things like schools where you want to directly email the photographs or have them be protected with a password. And I'm going to show you how to do both of these. So far what we've got is we have our event container. And then we've got the event right here. So Zenfolio Photo Day. And if I click in here, I want to show you guys the images were keyworded before I uploaded. So if I click on this photo right here, we go over to photo details. Down here at the bottom, you can see there's several different keywords in here, because I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ways to do this. So we've keyworded him with a unique identifier. We've also keyworded Brian with his name, and then just a made up identifier right there. And now if you'll notice, the next photo over is also of Brian. Pay attention to the keywords when I click over to that next photo. The keywords are going to stay exactly the same. But when I click the next person, they change. So those keywords are what links people to their specific photos. So these photos are keyworded. I did this in Lightroom. You guys can do this in Photoshop. You can do it in a lot of other programs. I would definitely recommend that you keyword your images before you're uploading them to Zenfolio. However, if you have to, you can keyword them once they are uploaded just by doing this. So if I wanted to just keyword one of these photos, I would just come on the photo right here, click on the photo, and then go over to photo details. So let me close this so you guys can see this. Let me zoom out a little bit. So you're going to click on the photo, go over here, and go down to photo details, and that's where you can put in the keyword if you need the keyword in Zenfolio. All right, guys, since all of these photos have been keyworded, it's time to convert this over to an event. So first what we're going to do is we're going to start out with an open event. All that's going to do is create a searchable container where people can search these images by the keywords that are in them. So I'm going to go to the group right here, and I am going to click this little arrow, and I'm going to say convert to an event. And this is going to ask me what type of event I want to convert this to. And in this case, we're going to do an open event so that we can just go in and search by keyword. So I'm just going to hit open, and I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see the save button right here. And we're going to click save right here. And this has now been converted to an open event. That's the only step you have to do, is just convert it over to an open event. People can now come to this and search by keyword. So let me show you what that landing page looks like currently and how it works. So I'm just going to click on the event. We're going to come over here to sharing and client access. I'm going to get the direct link to this event landing page, and what I'm going to do is open this up in a new incognito window. Now guys, when you're testing stuff and you want to test it like you're an actual client, you want to make sure that you're opening this up in a new incognito window. That way you're seeing it like an actual visitor would, and you're not looking at it logged into your account. So that is the key thing to remember, is that you're looking at this like a visitor would. So if you have Google Chrome, you're just going to come up to File and go to New Incognito Window, or you can do Shift Command N. If you're using Safari or Firefox or another browser, it's probably like File, New Private Window. The key is making sure that you're viewing this in that private window. So New Incognito Window. That's going to give me a window that looks like this. And now I'm just going to paste in that URL to the event, hit enter, and I am now on the event landing page, which visitor sign in is turned on, so I'm going to have to do that really quick. All right, so I've done visitor sign in. So now we're on the event landing page, and it says search by keyword. So just to go back to this page, anything that is keyworded into any of these images, I can enter and pull up those images. So for this guy right here, for Brian, if I go to photo details, I can type in his name, that little number right there, or this number, and all of his photos would appear. So let's just pull this event back over here really quick, and let's do a search for Brian. And there are Brian's photos, and only Brian's photos. If I were to type in Cheryl, I believe Cheryl's in here. Here is Cheryl's photo, and also Cheryl's group photo. So guys, that's pretty much it for Open Events. That's how it works. It just creates a searchable container that searches through the images, galleries, whatever's inside of it, finds the photos that are keyworded with whatever's being searched for, and it displays those results. So if I were to type in another one like Zen 22, that's also been keyworded into the photos, and now we have this guy's photos right here showing up. So he looks like a pretty cool guy. Got lots of nice cameras there. But that's how an open event works. It works really great for sporting events where you want to let people just go in and search by something like their jersey number or anything like that. That's an open event works really great for that. But what if, and let me see if you guys have any questions about open events before I jump into restricted events. So let me just check back on you guys here in chat really quick. All right, so let's see. Just checking in. See if you guys have anything. All right, so nothing on events. I see a couple of questions in there. Ivan, I see your question as well. I'm going to make sure that I address that after I get done doing the events. So let me jump back over here really quick. Just switch back over. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a restricted event. So the first thing that I'm going to do is remove the event from this. So I'm just going to basically start over again. So I'm going to click remove event. And it's not deleted anything. It's just turned it back into a regular group. So now restricted events. For those of you guys who are photographing schools or doing events where you want to email everybody their photos directly, restricted events are going to be really nice because you can upload a participants list. And you can do the same thing in an open event as well if you want. But let me show you what this participant list is. So I've got this opened up in Google Chrome, or not Google Chrome. This is actually in Google Sheets. This is just the participants list that I created. Basically, it's got parent's name, student's name, and any of these fields right here can be whatever you want them to be. There's no particular format. The only thing that you have to make sure that you have in order for it to be really effective is at least one column with their email, and then at least one column that contains information that you're going to be keywording into the photos. So for this, guys, what you want to make sure is that every participant has a student, not a student ID, but a unique identifier that is then keyworded into that that student's photos. So for instance, if I look at Alicia right here, her student ID is this. This is her unique identifier. If we go back and we look at Alicia's photos, any photo that Alicia is in is going to have that in there in the keyword. So if I go here to photo details, right here is that. Let me just zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see that. There we go. So right here is that student ID that tells our system, hey, any photo that has this in it belongs to this email address. And this is what links it together. So again, guys, this participants list, you can get some of this information maybe from the schools. If you can get the school to send you a list of parents' names, parents' emails, students' names, and their student ID, you're doing really good because you can use that information as your participants list and then keyword the photos with the student ID. Now, if you can't get the student IDs, you can make up a unique identifier. It just has to be unique. So I've made this one up over here. I've also keyworded that into photos too. The unique identifier does not matter what it is. It does not have to be the student ID. It just has to be something unique for each person in the event, and it cannot be duplicated on this participants list. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this participants list, we're going to download this into Zenfolio. So I'm going to go to File, Download As, comma separated value sheet. I'm just going to save this on my computer really quick right here as Zen list. We're going to save it there. And now we're going to go back and convert this over to an event. So I'm going to scroll back out. We're going to go right here to this. And I'm going to say convert to an event. And this time, guys, what I'm going to do is do a restricted by passcode event. And what you're going to notice is that when I do that, it's going to ask me for a participants list or a CSV file. So I'm going to choose restricted by passcode, hit save, and now I have to upload a participants list CSV file. So let me upload that file that I just had open, Zen list right here. We're going to hit upload file. And then it's going to ask me for the unique ID column right here. It says, what is the unique ID column? So this is asking what column on this list have I keyworded into my photos. And in this case, it could be either student ID or made up unique ID. It doesn't matter. I've keyworded both of them in there. But for this demo, I'm just going to use the student ID. So I'm going to choose student ID. Now next, it's going to ask me how do we want to create passcodes. So you can definitely just use the student ID for passcodes, but if I know that my password is my student ID, chances are I'm probably going to guess and say that my friend's password is his student ID as well. And if you don't want people getting into other students or other people's galleries, you can let Zenfolio generate a random passcode for you. And that way, it's a random passcode that we can then email out to your participants. So I'm going to choose the random passcode option right here. And we're going to hit next. So we're going to hit next. Once we get to this screen, we're going to click View List of Participants. And this is where the events feature is really amazing. Because now, once we're at this point, we can do some checks. We can go here and we can say, okay, let me zoom out here. You can see how many photos, let me zoom out one more time. There we go. You can see how many photos have been associated with each participant. Here's the randomly generated passcode right here. And if we want to take a look at this, if we want to see, whose photos, who has the correct photos, we can take a look at their name, come over here, we can click on this, and it'll actually take us and show us just that person's photos. So we can make sure that the right photos are being linked. Now, guys, for group photos, let me just show you group photos really quick and how they work. Group photos have to be keyworded with the unique identifier for everybody that appears in the photo. So, for instance, if everybody in this gallery appeared in this group photo, then that group photo would need to be keyworded with everybody's keyword. As you can see right here, it is. So that's how group photos work. But now back to our participants list. Once we get to that point, we see that everybody's photos are linked. So you can just see right over here, everybody's photos are linked. We can send out a batch email out to everybody that was at this event who we have emails here for, and send them a link to see just their photos. So we're just going to go right over here, click send email, and then any email or any column that we have on our CSV file. So up here, for instance, I have parents' names. If I have that in my CSV file that I upload to Zenfolio, I can use this information to also customize this email as well. So I can go back here, and instead of saying hello and a generic email, I can now say hello. I can copy this right over here that says parent. Put this in right here. And then you can say you're invited to view, and instead of it just saying Zenfolio Photo Day Photographs, I'm going to change this to say everybody's child's name. So you're invited to view student's name right here. I'm going to put student in. So you're invited to view student apostrophe S photographs. And then it's going to give them a link to their photos here and their passcode. So let me just hit continue to preview so you guys can see what this email looks like. So we're going to go continue to preview. It's going to send everybody a unique email that's just like this. It's going to say hello, their parents' names. If you put that in there, you're invited to view Allison's photograph, whatever. And then it's going to give a link right here so that you can view their photos. And they don't even have to enter their passcode. They just click on this link, and it takes them right to view their child's photographs or their student's photographs or whatever it is right here. So that is how you can get those links out to the parents. If you guys have any keyword or have any questions, anything you want me to go back over, there's a lot you can do. We can customize the event landing page, customize the event search page. So there's a lot of options that you have to really customize this and make it your own, make the landing page your own. All of this can be customized. The Zenfolio events feature really gives you a lot of different options. It's just getting that base concept down of keywording the photos, building that participants list that link the photos to that list, and then sending out your emails. So let me jump back to my dashboard really quick and take any questions you guys have. So give me 1 second here. I'll come back over here with you guys and take your questions. All right, let's see. So it looks like Vernon, I'm going to try to say your name right. Vernon Bentoncourt says, please go back on how to block Google. Absolutely, yes. So if you want to prevent your images from showing up and being indexed by search engines, but you don't really want to password protect the gallery, you can just turn that option off. And ideally, you would really want to do this before you upload your photos to Zenfolio. So if you just come down here to either the event, or you can do it on the gallery level, but I would do it on the group level. You click on the group right here, go over to group access. Let me zoom out a little bit here so you guys can see that. And then what you're going to do is come to the search and metadata section right here. And you can set this to do not include photos and videos in any search results. And that way, those photos will only show up when the keyword is searched through the event landing page. If you want to allow it to be searchable on your site only, you can choose that option, and then they can search for their keywords through the Zenfolio search page. But I prefer going this route and using that Zenfolio events page rather than the search page. So again, that's just clicking on the group, going to group access, going to search and metadata, and setting up to do not include photos and videos in any search results right here. So that is how you do that. So hopefully that answers your question, Vernon. If you have more questions, definitely please let me know, and I'll go back and address that more. Let's see. Darren, Mark Hands Up says if you're really hoping to do a video on calendar bookings. Yes, guys, that's a feature that we're working on. I don't have any timeline information, but hopefully that is something that's coming out very soon. There will definitely be a video, and I'm sure we'll do a live stream on it when that feature comes out as well. Ivan says, hey everyone, I'm using Zenfolio a lot, but since I switched to the new template to try it out and switching back, it changed all of my price list to a default price list. How can I fix this? Hey Ivan, sorry to hear about that. I'm not quite sure how that would happen. What I would suggest you do is reach out to our support team, and they are going to help you. They can help you get that fixed. So you can just go to zenfolio.com/contact, and one of the members of the support team can help you with that as well, helping you get everything switched back. Again, sorry to hear about that. Hopefully they're able to get it fixed. If you have any feedback about the new photos page as well, and especially regarding the loss of your price list and all of that, if they're changed, definitely please make sure to send that in the email as well and let us know. But I'm sorry to hear about that for sure. All right, let me go back here and make sure I've got all you guys' questions. Okay, let's see. Customize. Oh, let me go back up here. You're going to need some sort of whiteboard to get each student to write their ID on first for the pick so you can keep track off site. So, let me make sure. Catch back up to you guys here. All right, so let's see. Darren says I might use this for stock photography, so there's no photos visible until they search. Yeah, so again, if you set that up, there's no photos visible until they search. Now you said you always keyword all of my images, so that would work, so that's good. Let's see. How does a customer search for the event? So Gina Leonard says, how does a customer search for the event? So that really depends on how you want to get that event to the client. If you're doing a restricted event where you just want to email it out to everybody, you can do that. Or if it's an open event and you want to let people come and search, you can actually just add this event page right here to your site menu. So if this was an open event where we wanted to let people just search, or even if it's not an open event, if it's a restricted event, people can still enter their passcodes. You can add this right to your site menu. So you can go up to website right here. Go to customize website, and then you can actually add a link right to that event landing page on your site menu. So let me just show you that. Let me get out of this 1 second here. There we go. So let's say that I wanted to put that up here on my website. So people just go to my website, they click on the event, and they enter their passcode or whatever I tell them to enter. You just go right here to, I'm not going to change this one is what I'm going to do. So let's go here. Let's change this to say Zen Photo Day. Right there. We're going to link this to a group, gallery, collection, or event. Hit select. You can go right in here, choose that event, hit select and update. And after this refreshes, now they can just go to the website, click on their event link up here, or you can have it be a drop down, but they can click on that. It's going to take them to their landing page where they then can enter their passcode right here. So there's that option. There's directly emailing it out. There's a lot of different ways that you can get people to this. It really just depends on what kind of workflow you're using and what kind of workflow you want to have for your clients. And if you need some more clarification on that, if you have more questions about that, you could definitely reach out and we are happy to help. Just shoot an email to zenfolio.com/contact. I'd be happy to take a look at it. If you want to put attention Robert in the subject line, you can. And I'd be more than happy to work back and forth with you to figure out a workflow that works best for you. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard really quick, guys, and see if I can't grab some more questions here from the chat. Let me just get back to my dashboard and catch up to you guys here on chat. All right, let's see. Looks like it's not possible to convert old groups to events, only new created groups, or is it because I've switched to the new template? That's a good question. You should be able to convert your old groups to events. It should not stop you from converting them back. So let me just get back to my dashboard really quick. It should not keep you from converting them to events. It could be an issue with the new template. And if it is, you can definitely switch back give us that feedback and let us know. But you should be able to just hover over a group, any group right here, click this little drop down arrow, and click to convert to an event, even on the older groups. If it's not letting you do that on the new photos page, definitely please let us know, because that's definitely something that needs to be addressed, and you could switch back to the old photos page for now. But it should let you make that conversion. All right, let me go over here and let's see. Darren says lots of manual keyword data entry for each pick. It can be, or it can't be. It just depends on what you're used to. If you want to compare it to having to create an individual gallery for each student, giving it a password and emailing it out, it's definitely a lot more work. Also, you can do something called bulk meta update that will speed up that process as well. If you're good at working with CSV files, you can actually download the metadata for groups and galleries. So if you click here and you do this bulk meta update right here, you can download the metadata. And what that's going to give you is that's going to give you something that looks kind of like this. Now, I've already changed this, but what it's going to have is it's going to have your photos file names and the titles. And so what you can do is you can put the keywords in this, and then once you have all the keywords entered based on the file names, for instance, if you keep a shoot log as you're shooting, you should be able to match up your file names pretty easy. And then you can do this bulk meta update, put the correct keywords in here, come back into Zenfolio, hit bulk update meta, re-upload that CSV file, and it's going to keyword all of the photos from that CSV file that you upload. So you don't have to go in and manually keyword each one. You can just do the bulk meta update. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard here really quick. And let's see, you're going to need some sort of whiteboard to get each student to write their ID on first for the picks so you can keep track. Darren, I would definitely keep a shoot log. I shoot a lot of sports on the weekend, and I have to keep an accurate record of my shots. So I have a list, and as I'm taking kids' photos, I have a shoot log where I have to keep an accurate record on there. You could definitely do the same thing here, have a shoot log where you're just keeping an accurate record. Have an assistant maybe doing that for you. You do have to have some way of being able to know what file name belongs to what student and what you plan on keywording in there. So that should be part of your workflow and a process that if you don't have in place, you definitely need to develop that. There are lots of solutions that you can find that will help you with that as well. There's QR code solutions and different options like that. Let's see, JJC Photograph says customize the event landing page. So absolutely, let's do that. So you've got a couple of options with that as well. One of the things that you can do is if you want to let people browse, let's say you're doing an open event and you want to let people browse. Let me just remove this from being, or actually we don't even have to remove it. But let's say you want to let people browse a particular gallery on the event. You can click on that gallery. You can go over here and you can select this show on the event page option right here. You can select this option. And as long as your event landing page is using a gallery or using a layout that shows thumbnails, this gallery will now show on that landing page, giving people the option to browse if you want. If you don't want, you could uncheck that option. But I wanted to check it just so you guys can see how this works. So let's go in and customize this event landing page. So what we're going to do is first, I want to make sure that I have somebody's passcode. So I'm going to click on View List of Participants, grab a passcode really quick, and copy that. Then we're going to go back to the event right here. We're going to click on that, hover over Preview, and click on Customize, and that's going to load that event landing page right inside Customize View. So here we are on the event landing page, and you've got a lot of different options here as well. So what you're going to do is go up to Options, uncheck Page Defaults. You can show up or hide your page header. You can show a lot of this stuff. Really, though, the good option is this right here, because you can change what you're telling people to enter. So if you're doing an event for sports and people are searching by their jersey number, when they come to an event landing page and it says enter your passcode, that's probably going to confuse them a little bit. So you can change what this says right here. So you could say enter your or your bib number if it's a race for like a marathon or something like that. You can change that, go to apply, and that's going to change what it says on that event landing page right there. Enter your bib number. But for now, since we're working with kind of a school setup, let's just change this back to be enter your passcode. So I'm just going to delete that, let it stay at the default, go ahead and click apply, and leave it there. Now next, let's change the layout of this page so that we can see those the gallery thumbnails of the ones that we set to show. So what you're going to do is come up to layout, and there's 4 different layouts you can use. I'm going to use this one right here that has the thumbnails. I'm going to click on that. Let me get all this stuff out of the way so you guys can see everything. I'm going to click on that. We're going to apply that. And that's going to allow us to see that cover photo of that gallery that we said to show on the event landing page. So now from here, there's a lot of different customizations we can do. For instance, there's this banner up here. And if we wanted to show a photo on the banner, you can. Or you could slow a slideshow. Let me just pick a landscape orientated photo to show up here really quick, just so you guys can see what this does. And this is going to show a banner up at the top right here. So if you wanted to show a banner up here, maybe you wanted to have the school logo, the company logo, whatever the event was, you could do that up here. There's also this right here. If you wanted to show a slideshow here, you can. Now you can turn these options off as well. So you go to page elements, set that banner to hide the spotlight area. I'm also going to hide the footer. For me personally, I like having my event pages as clean as possible. Now for that group down there, let me just swap it over to be dynamic grid B. And we're just going to apply this, and now you can see the difference that this page has. So it's pretty clean, which is what I prefer for my event landing pages. Once you get your event landing page looking the way that you want, save it as default and publish it, and that way you don't have to come in and customize each one. So now we've got the landing page looking the way we want. Let's go check out what the search results page looks like. So I'm going to enter a passcode, hit go, and we're going to go to the search page. But that's where the results of that search show up. So one of the things I don't like about the way this is set up is how small the photos are. So that's going to be controlled by the grid option. So we're going to go up to options right here, go to grid options, and I'm going to swap this over to grid A, which is a more dynamic grid. And then we can change the size of the images here by changing this number. So maybe I'll put 250. We'll hit apply, and that's going to change this photo page to look a little bit different. Now for this one, it might look the same. These images are actually square, at least this one is, but you can see the photos are definitely a lot larger here. Now, once they click on the photo, depending on how you have it set up, if you have a price list, the quick shop page or the shop page would show up here. But again, once you have this set up the way that you want, what I would recommend doing is just clicking that Save as Default, go to Apply, and click Publish. So again, there's lots of options. It really just depends on how you want that event landing page to look, what's important for you to show on there, and what you need. So let me just publish these changes, and let's get back to the dashboard and take some more questions here from the chat. All right, customize event landing page. Am I missing how the uploaded list links with the correct photos? Can you explain that again? Absolutely. So the uploaded list links to the photos by the keyword that's in the photos. So let me just show you that. Let me switch over here. So here are the uploaded photos right here. And if I click on this photo right here, we go to photo details. You can see right here, these have been keyworded into these photos. So I keyworded these before I uploaded them. One is the name, one's just a code that I made up, and then one's a student ID. And then what I did was I uploaded a participants list with a unique identifier column right here. So when I uploaded this and I selected my column, this is what's keyworded into the photos, and this is also keyworded in the photos. This is what's making the link. This is what's telling our system that any photo that has this in it belongs to this email address, belongs to this person. So let me just go through that again really quick. And actually, let me just show you this here. So what I'm going to do, just to show you, is I'm going to go to the group photo. I'm going to go to photo details, and I'm just going to delete everybody's keyword here and hit save. So now if we go back to the event participants list right here, we go to view list of participants. And let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see it. Actually, I'm just going to scoot my window over just a little bit more. Oops. Alright, let's see if I can get this to where you guys can see this a little bit better. There we go. Now you're going to see that everybody only has one photo right here. Well, not everybody, but these people up here just have one photo. That's because I removed the keywords from that group photo. So if I wanted to fix that, what I'm going to do is take this student ID. I'll go back to that group photo, keyword it in there, save that, and that's what's linking it. So now if I go back to the participants list, now where that person only had one photo, now they have two, because I'm linking it with that student ID, that keyword, whatever it is that you've designated to be the unique identifier. That's how that link is made. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. Great questions today, guys. Really, these are awesome questions. Glad you guys are asking lots of questions. Let me go back down. Let's see. Getting email addresses will be a bear. Absolutely. You know, it's getting harder and harder to get people to turn over email addresses. One of the things that you can do is you could set up a pre-order page where you can let your parents submit their emails to you. If you wanted to do that, you can just use our pre-order feature, go up to selling, and then you can go to, where's it at? Let me click on selling right here. And if you use pre-order here, you can actually use this to send out to the schools, have parents pre-order, and then this will give you their email address information. So instead of getting it from the school, you're having the parent voluntarily give you their email address by placing a pre-order. Not everybody's going to do it, but some emails are better than no emails. So what you would do is just create a new pre-order. I'm not going to go through that process. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Create a pre-order, and then what you would do is down here at the bottom, you can ask for the student's first name, their last name, and instead of asking for grade, you could ask for maybe student ID. So you can get that, hit next, and that creates a link that you then send out to the schools, and the schools would submit it to the parents. Parents go to this link, and they place their pre-order, which then will give you their email address. So if I just select one of these, and I go to checkout at the bottom, I have to enter student name, student last name, student ID, and then I also have to give my email address to email the receipts. So now using the pre-order feature, you've let people pre-order, and you've also collected your parents' email addresses as well. So that's one way that you can do it. There's a lot of other ways that you can do it, but if you're finding that to be an issue, you can definitely use the pre-order feature as a way to let parents pre-register for that. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard here and keep scrolling down. Keywords have to be in the picture first. Yes, absolutely they do. Sorry, scrolling up, trying to keep up with you guys. Let's see. Man, you guys got a lot of questions in here. Let me go back up, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, keep going here. I know off topic, but how do you get round cropping effect when ordering with integrated partners? Do you have to put an image cropped at each of the sizes? So you want the rounded cropping effect. That's going to have to be done probably. The only thing that I really know that does that is going to be die cutting wallets. I believe when the die cut wallets, they have the round edges. None of the integrated labs that I know do the round cropping effect. So hopefully I'm understanding your question right, Bradley. If not, please definitely feel free to clarify in the chat. But as far as I know, through our integrated labs, there's not a way to get the round cropped edges of the photos. That's something that either you would have to do on your own through a self-fulfill product, or that you would have to do once the client either received their products, they'd have to do that themselves. All right. I'd love to just outsource everything to Zenfolio, Aaron says. There we go. Darren says, question, can you thumbnail events? Yes, you can. So you can give events their own custom thumbnail, Darren. It's just the same as doing it with a group. So if we go up here, we can, let's say we want this photo right here to be the event thumbnail. Just click on this, say select as a cover thumbnail. Go right here, choose that event, and hit assign. And now that event is going to have that as a cover photo. So if you're photographing lots of schools and you want to have a group where it has all of the school's events and you want it to show up as a thumbnail rather than an icon, you could do that, and then they could just click on their logo to go to that school's event. So you could definitely do something like that. All right, so let's see. Next question says, shoot logs work too. Agreed. Yes. For sports, maybe get the roster for each team. Yes, absolutely. Keeping a shoot log, like I said, that's 100% what I've done. And as long as I'm accurate with that, I haven't not had issues. So if you guys have photographers that are working for you, one of the things that you want to stay on them about is the accuracy of their shoot log, making sure that it's on point, that it's absolutely correct, it matches what's in their camera. And that's going to help you with these events as well, as making sure that they're accurate with their shoot log and it matches their camera. All right, so Craig says, I do very large events, 300 to 400 shots an hour. Any suggestions for collecting emails, etc. from clients? I use an event software that will allow me to scan barcodes, etc. and create IDs on photos. So there is a solution you might want to check out. It's called SnapEasy. They do integrate with Zenfolio. What they will let you do is generate QR codes to take to your event, and then you take that QR code, take a picture of the QR code, take a picture of your subject, and then you can actually hand them that, and it'll have the link for them to get to their photos. And they do integrate with Zenfolio, so you can upload through SnapEasy, it'll go into Zenfolio, and then the photos will match and link with that QR code and that session code. So it's called SnapEasy. It's definitely something I would suggest checking out. Probably going to be a good solution for you, Craig, and doing it that way with the QR codes. Let's see. I'm going to be using the next marathon. Thanks. I came in a bit late. Did you say they were uploaded? You say where we upload the CSV file to? Yeah, Craig, it's definitely, if you go scroll back to the beginning, I'll show you where to upload that. Guys, also on our YouTube channel as well, there is a full, complete video tutorial on doing open events and restricted events. It breaks it down and it'll show you how to keyword your photos, how to create that participants list, and then how to bring them together in Zenfolio. So if I could get Cheryl to throw the link out to that tutorial in the chat, you guys can have that link to that video tutorial, so you have that process on hand and you can go through and watch the whole thing that just focuses on that process and you don't have to try to go back and forth. All right, let's see. Fantastic. All right. And then Cheryl put out the link to SnapEasy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. Let me grab a couple of email questions really quick, and then I'm going to come back to you guys on chat. We've got about 5 to 10 more minutes, so let me grab an email question really quick so I don't forget about the email questions as well. So give me 1 second, and let me grab here. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. So this person says, I do not have Excel. What is the best program for CSV files? Guys, so I use Google Sheets like almost religiously, and I love Google Sheets for a lot of different reasons. That's what I'm using right over here when I created this participants list. Excel is a great solution. I haven't really used many other programs other than Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, to be honest. I've messed with Numbers a little bit. I would definitely, not that Numbers is a bad program. I've seen it do some weird things, especially with Zenfolio events. Personally, for me, my recommendation is to use Google Sheets. It's free. Not only is it free, but it's linked to your Google account. So if you're working on a participants list, you can share it with people. Not only that, but if you don't have your computer handy and you need to check a CSV file, you can log into your Google account, go to the Google Sheets webpage, pull up that CSV file without having to have somebody email it to you. So like I said, I use Sheets almost religiously. It works great for Zenfolio events. It works really great to generate participants lists. The other nice thing is that multiple people can work on it at the same time. So if you guys need to work on something with a photographer, or if you and another photographer need to collaborate, make some corrections, you guys can both access that at the same time, make changes, and see each other's changes in real time. So I love Sheets for those reasons. Again, biggest reason being that it's free, it works great, and you can access it from wherever you're at as long as you can log into your Google account. Let's see. What is the best way to keyword the photos if you don't have Lightroom? Any kind of cataloging software that you have, I would definitely recommend. I strongly recommend, if you can, keywording those photos before you upload them and making that part of your workflow. It's going to be a lot easier for you to do it in a software that you're already used to versus trying to do it on Zenfolio on the back end. A couple of them that I know offhand are Camera Bits. There's ACDC, I believe. You can also keyword in Adobe Bridge if you don't have Lightroom. You can also keyword in Photoshop. The Photoshop process is not the best, but it's a little more intensive, but you can definitely do that as well. So you can do it in Photoshop and you can do it in Camera Bits, but Lightroom is probably the most simple in my opinion. All right, let's see, guys. So let me grab another question here from the chat. So let's see. So Bradley says, sorry, I did not explain well. I mean, when you order from the image and choose different sizes, the cropping of that image, do you have to upload different images at different sizes? Bradley, thank you so much. Yeah, I understand your question now. So for Zenfolio, let me jump back to my dashboard here really quick. So for cropping of the images, my biggest suggestion for you to make your life super simple is to start building price lists based on your camera's aspect ratio. Now, I realize that sometimes that just does not work. Clients are used to having photos in 8x10 versus 8x12. Personally, something that I've started doing is only offering print products that match my camera's aspect ratio. That way, when I upload my photos and I apply a price list, no matter what my client orders, that image fits on all of those print products and I don't have to worry about cropping. Now, if you can't do that, there is a cropping option in Zenfolio. Your clients can go in and they can crop it. And as long as you have order approval turned on, you can actually go in and review those orders before they're sent out to the lab. So you get a chance to look at that cropping, make sure that it looks okay before it goes to the lab for fulfillment. So let me show you where that order approval option is, and then I'll show you what it looks like when there's a pending order that's waiting to be approved. So let me just jump out of this really quick here, and we'll go into selling and we'll go to price list. Now, order approval is turned on by default. So anytime you create a new price list, order approval is on by default. If you don't want it on, you can turn it off. But if you want it on, you don't have to do anything. Like I said, it's on by default. And let me just get back here really quick. And I did a video tutorial, Bradley, if I can get Cheryl throw it out in the chat, there is a video all about building a price list based on your camera's aspect ratio. Not only is there a video that talks about it, in the description of that video, there's a calculator you can download. If you don't know your camera's aspect ratio, or if you're not sure what aspect ratio your image is, you can use this calculator. It'll tell you what your aspect ratio is for your images, and then it will also give you a list of print sizes that are available in Zenfolio that are in that aspect ratio. So I would definitely check that out. It's been one of the best things that I've ever done. I've had a few clients be like, what's an 8x10? Or what's an 8x12? I'm used to 8x10s. But for the most part, it has saved me a lot of time. And I once explaining, it's just a little bit of a larger photo. I didn't really have any issues after that. So it's just kind of breaking that 8x10 mindset. And it's going to save you so much time if you build it off of your camera's aspect ratio. So order approval, it's an option. It's right in price list settings right here. If you go to price list settings, there's an option in here called order approval. And like I said, anytime you create a new price list, this option is turned on by default. Right here, it says, I will approve orders before sending to the lab. This gives you that chance to review that cropping and make sure that it looks okay. If you turn this off, then however your client cropped the photo, or if they didn't crop it and the aspect ratio of the image and the print doesn't match up, it's probably going to be default set to center. But if you turn this option off, that's going to go to the lab. The lab's going to fulfill it the way it is. I would leave this option on because once that option's on, whenever your clients place an order, you actually get an email notification, and you get a notification up here that lets you review that order to see if there's anything that you need to correct. So if you're looking for bad cropping, you can click on the order number. You can actually go down here and you can say, okay, that's the cropping for this order. That's not really going to work. Let me adjust that. And this way, you're not sending your clients prints where Uncle Bob's forehead is cut off. And you just grab it and you adjust it here to make it a better crop. Sometimes, going to be honest, sometimes there's just some photos that were either photographed too tightly, or there's not enough room to play around with the crop, or the print product size is just not a good fit for that product, and you might have to do some toying around with it to get it to work. I've had to do it myself. I've had to add some extra padding around the image, maybe drag it out, stretch it, clone in some spots in there to make it work for the print that was ordered. It's possible, but again, if you build that price list based on your aspect ratio, you're not going to have this problem. But if you still want to offer those traditional print sizes, keeping order approval on is going to give you that opportunity to come look at the image, make those cropping adjustments before it's sent to the lab. Then you can save it, approve it, send it on to the lab for fulfillment after that. All right, guys, we've got about 2 more minutes left, so I do want to say thank you to everybody who came and took time out of their busy day to watch this on Zenfolio Events. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. We do live streams every Thursday, and then every Wednesday we put out new video tutorials as well to help you guys. Also, we are in iTunes, so if you're a podcast listener, a podcast watcher, do search for Zenfolio Video Tutorials in iTunes. You guys can find us there. Make sure you subscribe. You'll actually get a downloading of each of the live streams as well. So a couple of hours after the live stream's over, a recording of the live stream is pushed out on our YouTube channel, and it will go out to you guys that are subscribed in iTunes as well. For those of you guys who are hanging out on this live stream, there will be a recording of it posted to our YouTube channel. And if you weren't able to join us on the live stream, but you're watching the recorded version of this, there's going to be a link below in the description of the video where you can submit us questions for next week. That way we can get your questions answered on next week's live stream. And guys, if you're interested in Zenfolio as a platform solution for your photography business, whether it's high volume sports or schools, there's a link in the description below this video where you can set up and do a consult with one of our account managers. They're going to talk to you about your business, talk to you about how Zenfolio can help you and be a good platform solution for you. Definitely check that link out. I'm going to try to answer one more question, so let me make sure I don't have any questions in chat. And then if I don't have any chat questions, what I'm going to do is take an email question. Let's see. Make sure I don't have any. All right, everybody say thank you. So no, I didn't miss any questions. Let me grab an email question really quick, see if I can do it in like 2 minutes. Let's see. 2-minute question here. How do I generate random passcodes when I send the email to my clients from the event page? So that's in the actual event setup section. I showed that earlier. So just go back and make sure to watch the back on the previous part of this live stream where it shows how to generate the random passcodes. It's just going to be part of a flow through the event setup where you generate random passcodes. It's pretty easy. It's just an option that you check. All right, guys, we are out of time. I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks again for everybody coming and hanging out. Thanks to Randy from Snap Easy for coming and hanging out and joining us and helping there in the chat. Guys, make sure to check them out. Great solution if you're looking for a QR code solution. I hope to see you guys on next week's live stream. Next week, we'll be hanging out with Kayla. So make sure to come back and give her your questions. And until then, hope you guys have a great week. And thanks again for joining us.